everyone, it's Kerry back with you today. So something a little bit different. For the next 3 months, Renee and I are working in collaboration with the Playing with Paper and Glue Facebook group, where we are going to provide a freebie at the beginning of every month, and I'll show you a video on how to use the freebie, and then you can of course download the freebie from the group. You can visit our shop too. There'll be links below to both the Facebook group and our shop, and we've got lots of other freebies available in the shop. So today I'm going to showcase for you our first freebie that Renee has created. Now this might look a little bit weird just on the page, but I promise once you see this and the possibilities, it's actually pretty awesome. So this page becomes an ephemera pocket. And then we've got a selection of ephemera and bits to cut out to go in the pocket. So I'm just going to pop that to the side. So here's one of the little ephemera pockets that I've popped together, and then I've just filled it up with all the little freebies. And I've used some of the pieces of ephemera to decorate my pocket. There's a large pocket in the top of the tag, and then when you turn it over, we've got more pockets with other bits of ephemera that have been tucked in. So heaps of bits and pieces in here and lots of different ways to use it. I'll show you how I've created this, and then I'll also give you some other ideas for how you can use it in a journal. So let's begin. So the first thing we're going to do is take our printout, and we're just going to cut out around the edges so that we end up with something that looks like this. Then you can use a scoreboard if you like, but I prefer to use a metal ruler and the back of my craft knife because I feel like it gives me a more accurate score. We're just going to come in and score on this line here and this top line of what will be our ephemera pockets. So I just line up my ruler with the line, and then taking my craft knife, I use the back edge, so not the sharp edge, and I just very lightly run it over the edge. If you press too hard, it will damage the paper, so I just press very lightly. I'm just going to score the middle and the top of each pocket. So now I have my crease lines where I'll need to fold to make my pockets. But before I do that, I'm just going to take my whole page and I'm going to fold it in half long ways. Alright, so then I've got a crease down the middle. Now to create your little pockets, you just need to fold up on the top of the pocket and then fold down on what will be the bottom inside of the pocket, all the way up the page. Okay, so that basically gives us our little pocket folds here. Now I want to fold my ephemera pocket in half, and because there's quite a bit of paper in here, it's just a little bit bulky. So what I'm going to do is go in with my scissors and just taking the inside part of the pocket here, I'm just snipping up. It's probably easier if I do it this side. I'm just snipping up to where the fold line is here. So essentially I'm just taking a tiny little triangle piece out of the middle, and I'm going to do that on each one of those pockets. So now there's a little divot in each one of my pockets. Now you won't see that on the actual pocket because it's inside these pocket bases. It just removes a bit of bulk so that when I fold this in half again, this isn't quite so bulky along the edge here. Now that's essentially the ephemera pocket built, and you just need to seal it. So I prefer to stitch around the edge of mine. You can of course just glue it, and if you want to glue, you just need to make sure that when you're gluing on the sides here, you'll need to glue the pocket shut. you'll need to glue the flap down, and you'll also need to glue it at the back. So you just need to make sure that you're gluing in all of those folded sections. So I'm just going to go and sew around the edge of this pocket, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I've stitched along these three sides of my pocket. I've left the top open because I want to use that as another pocket to pop a big tag in. But if you didn't want to, you could just close that up. Now if you've got some little edges that haven't quite met perfectly, you can hide those with some ink, or you can go ahead and trim those off. Okay, so I've inked around the edges, and I want to make a little divot just in the top here so that it's obvious that it's a pocket, and I'm just going to eyeball that. So I've cut out my pieces from the second page just here. And you can go ahead and use those to decorate the pocket if you want to. You might want to add a little bit of tape along the bottom here. And maybe I'll add these little bee. Maybe I'll just pop this number down here, I think. Pop that one there. Then I can just go ahead and pop in my ephemera. So my large tag will go in the back there. Now I would back this onto some coffee dyed paper or book page or something, but just for the video I'm just going to pop it in there. Then I'll turn over, and then I can use some of my other ephemera pieces to fill up the back. Maybe pop another little label down the bottom here. So there we go, that's a cute little ephemera packet that you can pop into a journal or send us some happy mail, something like that. But there are other options for the ephemera pockets. So here's, I've just created my ephemera pocket like this, and then I've cut it into three. This one I've stitched around, so that one's ready to just glue into a journal, and I've got these three little ephemera pockets that I can pop some bits and pieces in. This is the exact same thing, but I've just glued it. I haven't stitched it, so you can see that you still get the same result just with gluing. And then on this one I've stitched it onto the tag. That must be where my other tag went. So I've got the three little pockets here as well, just on a little tag. So lots of options for the ephemera pockets. So here's another one of the ephemera pockets that I've cut and folded, and then I've snipped out my little divots ready to fold it in half. But what you could actually do is, if you have a journal with a sturdy page, is you could take your ephemera pocket and pop it around the edge of your page like this. So you could have a pocket on this side and another one on that side. So something else you could do is prepare your display pocket, then back it onto a piece of cardstock or paper or something like that. And instead of folding it back on itself this way, you could fold it this way and then decorate the front. And you would have a lovely little ephemera booklet there that you could fill up with lots of nice bits and pieces. So there we go, that's our first freebie for the Playing with Paper and Glue Facebook group. So pop over and join the group and you'll have access to these freebies, but you can also pop over to our shop and you'll find lots of freebies in the shop there. Links will be in the description box below. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'll see you again next time. Bye!